but she's still, active.
Lighting up Jim's straw.
She's still in capture the football, bocce, there's a lot of things to speed herself back. No, she's in Rioni. Yeah, Rioni regional. Unfortunately, she had to land out there. But I mean, she's not rich, so I mean, during that time, my stepdad, when we were alive, we were all pretty high. We started finding assets. You don't find assets, you're not going to win, And he would help it, but I wanted to find assets. He wanted to
Good morning. Good morning. It is wonderful to have you here with us for worship this morning. I have a couple things to share. The first will hopefully make you feel better about yourself. I have been having technology trouble. That was a really I've been having technology trouble. There is something wrong with my email. So if you have emailed me and not heard back, I will do my best to have it fixed as soon as possible. But by Tuesday at the latest, I need to make a call to the conference office and they will not be open till Tuesday. So, it's not just you that technology sometimes dislikes. Another thing is that the Tice Valley merger is now official as it is after July 1st. Dan Sturdivant is enjoying his newfound retirement by answering my many texts and phone calls. And we are very excited to welcome people from Tice Valley here this morning and going forward. I did hear from a couple that were hoping to come this morning, but unfortunately have experienced different health issues and are unable to make it this morning, but look forward to joining us in the future. We also will, I promise that letter is coming out. The envelopes have been addressed. We will be sharing a little bit about the history of Tice Valley and the United Methodist Church at Rossmore. Dick Ward, who's in the back, he has done a wonderful job. Dick, you're welcome to stand up. If anyone doesn't know Dick, or wave your hand, there we go. Thank you so much, Dick. He has done a tremendous job of providing us a history of Tice Valley And I will be sharing that with you and look forward to sharing about how Lafayette will have a presence at Rossmore in the future. And then an update on Jeff Sodden. For those that don't know, Jeff Sodden is the son of Pastor Lori Sodden and her husband Mark. She was the pastor here a couple pastors ago and is now retired. Just after Easter, Jeff became ill, and he is still at UCLA's Medical Center. But Lori has okayed me with sharing that he is currently inpatient and a heart transplant is the recommended treatment going forward. So what that means is he will remain inpatient with an estimate of at least a couple of months, but of course with a lot of unknowns at this point in the process. Lori and Mark and Jeff so appreciate the support and cards and well wishes and prayers. Today during the offering time, donations, any checks with Sodden on the memo line or any donations in envelopes with Sodden on them will go towards supporting Lori, Mark, and Jeff with things like gas and food during this difficult time. Also, if donating online is your preferred method, we do have the ability to donate towards the Sodden family now on our website. So, thank you. Linda.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to winter in July. It's sort of a typical Bay Area 4th of July weekend. I had my seat warmer on this morning in my car. So this morning, a little bit of information. We are going to have a lunch following service today to welcome Tice Valley. And in addition to lunch, we have apple pie. So please plan to stay and join us. We have it all set up in the fellowship hall, which is right next door, right following the service. We, just a little bit after passing the peace today, we will remain, well, obviously we're standing while we pass the peace, but go back to our seats. And Greg will play through our song, which is a little bit possibly new to some people, before we sing it. So I'd also like to invite Jim Straw forward to give an announcement.
I told the pastor I wanted to make a brief announcement for Staff Parish Committee. I'm the chairman of the Staff Parish Committee, and I wanted to extend, I know this is a welcoming service for Tice Valley, but I wanted to remind you and extend our appreciation. This is the 1-year anniversary for Pastor Lauren Michelle. So, Lauren Michelle, come on, stand up, man. Last year at this time, Staff Parish Committee was busy welcoming Pastor Lauren Michelle. The Trustees Committee was busy getting ready the parsonage for Pastor Lauren Michelle. And she came to us dropped like manna from heaven. And little known facts is that she was a guinea pig for the COVID vaccine. That she was one of the first test takers for the COVID vaccine before it was out. And as a pastor, I wanted to express my appreciation to her for this year. It's been sort of a very interesting year. We've had Tice Valley join our ranks. We've gone through much of the COVID response, and she has been really forthright in welcoming everybody to her office on office hours. Having Wednesday coffee meetings at Papillon, and in spite of her technology challenges, she has offered technology help to members of the church. So we'll see how good that assistance is. But so I just wanted to, on behalf of Staff Parish Committee, and maybe I'll throw in trustees who did a lot of hard work on the parsonage. Would you stand up again and welcome, happy anniversary.
Thank you all so much. much, and I do want to say a definite thank you to trustees and SPRC and everyone who has helped make me feel welcome, helped do a lot of work on the parsonage and my office, and really just make this first year amazing, and I look forward to being here for a second year, and hopefully many more to come. And now I invite you to stand for the call to worship, which is printed in your bulletin. Sing praises to God, O faithful ones.
Give thanks and proclaim God's holy name.
Weeping or joyful, mourning or dancing.
Come as you are, for all are welcome here.
Open your hearts to healing, to life restored.
Let us worship God.
And now, let us greet those around us by sharing the peace of Christ. Peace of Christ be with you.
And also
Peace, sir. Good morning, Better sit down.
From Psalm 30. I will extol you, O Lord, for you have drawn me up and did not let my foes rejoice over me. O Lord my God, I cried to you for help, and you have healed me. O Lord, you brought up my soul from Sheol, restored me to life from among those gone down to the pit. Sing praises to the Lord, O you, his faithful ones, and give thanks to his holy name. For his anger is but for a moment, his favor is for a lifetime. Weeping may linger for the night, but joy comes with the morning. As for me, I said in my prosperity, I shall never be moved. By your favor, O Lord, you had established me as a strong mountain. You hid your face, I was dismayed. To you, O Lord, I cried, and to the Lord I made supplication. What profit is there in my death if I go down to the pit? Will the dust praise you? Will it tell of your faithfulness? Hear, O Lord, and be gracious to me. O Lord, be my helper. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You have taken off my sackcloth and clothed me with joy, so that my soul may praise you and not be silent. O Lord, my God, I will give thanks to you forever. Let us now sing together number 437. This is my song, verses 1 and 3.
That's one of my favorite songs. Our second scripture reading for this morning from the Old Testament is 2 Kings chapter 5, verses 1 through 19. Naaman, commander of the army of the king of Aram, was a great man and in high favor with his master, because by him the Lord had given victory to Aram. The man, though a mighty warrior, suffered from the skin disease. Now the Arameans on one of their raids had taken a young girl captive from the land of Israel, and she served Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, "If only my lord were with the prophet who is here in Samaria, he would cure him of his skin disease." So Naaman went in and told his lord just what the girl from the land of Israel had said. And the king of Aram said, "Go then, and I will send along a letter to the king of Israel." He went, taking with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 sets of garments. He brought the letter to the king of Israel, which read, "When this letter reaches you, know that I have sent to you my servant, Naaman, that you may cure him of his skin disease." When the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his clothes and said, "Am I God to give death or life that this man sends word to me to cure a man of his skin disease? Just look and see how he is trying to pick a quarrel with me." But when Elisha, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had torn his clothes, he sent a message to the king. "Why have you torn your clothes? Let him come to me, that he may learn that there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman came with his horses and chariots and halted at the entrance of Elijah's house. Elijah sent a messenger to him, saying, "Go wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored, and you shall be clean." But Naaman became angry and went away, saying, "I thought that for me he would surely come out and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God, and would wave his hand over the spot and cure the skin disease? Are not Abana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be clean? He turned and went away in a rage. But his servants approached him. Have done it? How much more when all he said to you was, wash and be clean? So he went down and immersed himself 7 times in the Jordan, according to the word of the man of God. And his flesh was restored, like the flesh of a young boy, and he was clean. Then he returned to the man of God, he and all his company. He came and stood before him and said, now I know that there is no God in all the earth except in Israel. Please accept a present from your servant. But he said, as the Lord lives, whom I serve, I will accept nothing. He urged him to accept, but he refused. Then Naaman said, if not, please let 2 mule loads of earth be given to your servant. For your servant will no longer offer burnt offerings or sacrifice to any god except the Lord. But may the Lord pardon your servant. There, leaning on my arm, and I bow down in the house of Rimmon. When I do bow down in the house of Rimmon, may the Lord pardon your servant on this one count. He said to him, go in peace. Thus ends the reading of the word.
So last year, a baking show called The Great British Bake Off released new episodes. Now, I don't know how many of you watch baking shows, but when I watch baking shows, there comes a point where there's usually one contestant that just seems way more stuck up and full of themselves than the other. With the exception of the Great British Bake Off, on which everyone is amazing and kind towards one another and always willing to help. But otherwise, there seems to be one person who is just so sure of themselves that it comes off as prideful. For example, this one contestant in Zumbo's Just Desserts, which is a baking show set in Australia, is just certain that everything he does goes above and beyond and is absolutely flawless. Now, it's one thing to be confident, that's great, especially when confidence can really make a difference between a good bake and a bad one. But this guy, he wasn't just confident in his own work, he was sure it was better than everyone else's. In today's scripture, we have a guy named Naaman, and he is sort of the same way.